Before we mapped galaxies, before we explored oceans, there was another vast frontier hidden inside us all: the brain. For centuries, it was a black box. No one knew how thoughts, memories, or emotions even worked. Until one man, artist, rebel, dreamer, decided to peer into the mind itself, armed with only a microscope and a paintbrush. This is the story of Santiago Ramón y Cajal, the father of modern neuroscience, and a reminder that sometimes understanding the world starts with understanding yourself. Cajal was born in 1852 in a small Spanish village. He wasn't a prodigy. He didn't memorize encyclopedias. He got into fights. He painted graffiti on walls. His teachers called him incorrigible. But he saw beauty where others saw chaos. Clouds looked like living creatures. Tree branches reminded him of thought patterns. He dreamed of becoming an artist. His father, a stern anatomy professor, wanted him to be a doctor, they argued. But eventually Cajal gave in and went to medical school. It would become the greatest compromise in scientific history. In the lab, Cajal didn't just observe, he saw. He saw what no one else could. At the time, scientists believed the brain was a web, one endless tangle with no clear lines between cells. But when Cajal looked through the microscope, he saw something different. Tiny trees, independent cells, beautiful branching patterns, the neuron. And the incredible irony, he achieved this breakthrough using a staining technique developed by his very rival, Camillo Golgi, who believed the exact opposite. Golgi stained the black reaction, painted individual neurons with stunning clarity, but it took Cajal's genius to truly see what it revealed. He began drawing them by hand, obsessively, for years. His neuron doctrine would become the foundation of neuroscience, that the brain is made of individual cells that communicate with each other. He also proposed that these signals travel in a single direction, from dendrites to axons, a concept we now call dynamic polarization, explaining how information truly flows through our minds. But he was ridiculed. His lab was tiny. He had no funding. And yet he kept going. Cajal believed the brain was not fixed. He believed it could adapt, change, grow, an idea we now call neuroplasticity. He didn't just study the mind, he respected it, he once said. Every man can, if he so desires, become the sculptor of his own brain. This wasn't science fiction. It was science ahead of its time. And still, Cajal kept drawing. Some of his sketches looked like alien landscapes or lightning frozen in time. But they weren't fantasy. They were your brain, the invisible forest inside us all. In 1906, Cajal was awarded the Nobel Prize alongside Camillo Golgi, the man who had bitterly opposed him for decades. It was an awkward honor, but for Cajal, the science had already spoken. He published over 100 papers, trained the next generation of neuroscientists, and never stopped sketching. Even in old age, he kept observing, kept wondering. Today, every neuroscience textbook is built on Cajal's vision. Every brain scan, every mental health breakthrough, traces back to a man who saw neurons not just as cells, but as poetry. In a world obsessed with speed, Santiago Ramón y Cajal reminds us of the power of patience, of the rebel mind, of the beautiful mystery inside us all. He didn't just map the brain, he illuminated the soul of science. If you want more stories of extraordinary minds, subscribe. And remember, the greatest frontiers aren't always out there. Sometimes they're within.